Okay, I'm starting the stream. It started now. So I hope it's fixed now.
Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Okay.
So I hope it's fixed now.
So, welcome again, Victoria.
Okay, well, I can't actually see the
Yes, we are
screen.
Okay.
So I'll just speak. I can't see anything.
So,
hello, darlings.
Welcome again, Victoria.
I'm sorry, this is really, really Mercury retrograde for all of us. It's a miracle we're all here. So I'll just speak. I can't see anything.
So,
hello, and we've just had this sound problem. So I think we are all very aware of this has not been an easy Mercury retrograde. I think everyone's had stuff going on. So tonight, Lars is going to begin with a recap and from last time and looking at the sky now. Then Pascal, our guest, is going to be speaking to us about the power of language. And then I'm going to be talking about Lupercalia. And Jacob is going to dedicate all his time to following your comments and your questions. So after each person, we'll have a recap, looking at your comments, answering questions, and at the end as well. So hopefully you can hear me, and off we go.
Okay.
I can't see anything, darlings. I'm not sure if that's normal. I can't see the screen.
You should be able to see the screen.
Can't see anything. Ah, here we go. Yeah.
So you have disabled the screen sharing, Jacob. You have to do it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try now. So now I can do it.
Should be fine now.
Cool. Okay, I'll try again. Can they hear me out there? Thumbs up for that, I hope.
Yeah, their audio is now all good. Confirmed in the live chat. So.
Okay, Barry. And welcome to the show and this Mercury retrograde. So, but maybe you heard it, but to finish this World Championship in handball, we got the feminine sphere and the masculine tribe of Dan, tribe of sphere in Sweden and Denmark. And just after the match where Denmark, tribe of DNA, Dan won, it turned into red and white. So the four needles, Victoria has been speaking about, the four phalanxes, the four obelisks, all in this patriarch masculine energy standing here with the white colors of Europe. And
the dog lying dead, it's the two H's, it's the 88, it's HH.
Exactly the same. So the bridge between Copenhagen and Malmö in Sweden were turned into these colors. So very, very good. Some of you have looked at my work on Facebook and I've been taken down twice. So my website is up running tomorrow, maybe if I'm lucky, or Wednesday. Hopefully, so you can find all my work there instead of that on Facebook. I won't be turning into Facebook again with it, so you can find it there.
Lars, just a quick question: are you screen sharing now?
Sure, or not?
I can't see your screen share.
What about on YouTube?
No, I can't see any.
Okay, stop sharing.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What a communication mess.
Yeah, nice Mercury retrograde. Oh man, this is just terrible.
Yeah, I had a feeling about tonight.
Your feeling was right.
I just wondered whether I didn't think we were even going to get here.
No.
Okay, hold on.
So maybe we should cancel it for today and maybe come back tomorrow. Oh.
We'll have one more go, and because everybody's here, I think.
Mm.
Okay, can you try to share again, Lars?
I'll do. I'll try. So do you see it now?
Yeah, now we see it.
Everyone.
Okay, so just start from the beginning again, Lars.
So is it on YouTube now? Can you see the bridge on YouTube? The bridge over troubled water, or what it's called?
Yes, I can see the bridges now.
On YouTube as well?
Yeah.
Okay, check 3. Clapped 3. So I hope you got it out there, but the feminine blue energy from Sweden and the red from Denmark, the 2 ages, as Victoria said, turned into these 2 masculine energies, and the 2 ages, the 4 needles, the 4 phalluses, the 4 obelisks, whatever you name it. So pure masculine with the white colors of Europe, tribe of Dan. So much symbolic in it. And then last time, as I said, my Facebook account was taken down twice, so I ain't gonna share none of my work there anymore. It's gonna be all here. So it will be available, all of it, on this website when it's up running, maybe tomorrow, Thursday, Wednesday, I don't know yet. Depends on the service. So that was just a little close up on this one about the bridges, how it turned all into red. So let's get out to the heavens. Anything like that we talked about, Victoria? I will get rid of this. So now it's only Stellarium, right?
Okay.
And can you see it on Facebook, YouTube as well?
I can.
Okay.
Is this good, Jacob? Can everyone see?
YouTube has a bit of a delay, but it's a Stellarium now.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, good. So this Lucifer energy rising, I got the grid on to see later on, but in, I think it was Wales, isn't it, Victoria? Well, we got this with the head, and you're going to show it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. With this Jupiter, Venus, Lucifer energy rising with Mercury retrograde. It's all confused, this Lucifer energy, Lupercalia rising to this decapitated head of the fowl, of the horse. And you will get more into the symbolic interpretation of it later.
Yeah.
Cool. So I made a few dates I will mention, and taking off from here. And the next one we got is the 16th, where we got the sun coming in to Aquarius to be in fall. So this life energy of mankind will be a bit what's called lazy, under pressure. And we got Mars exactly on the diagonal a few hours before. So the 16th and the 15th, we got Mars running up. So hang on for that when we conjunct over here. The 17th, I made a note of the moon conjuncts Uranus. So it will be a blow in the abyss with the feminine axe on the conscious mind, while Mars is still in this cardinal fire. As well, we got Venus coming in to, not the 17th, no, we got to get to the 23rd when this Lucifer energy will enter into Aquarius, where it will be good shape, but I see it as an attack on mankind with this Luciferian energy, which were called up over here to start this decapitation around the world. Vaccination, I reckon, will start pushing this energy with this life force of mankind under pressure.
So that's 223.
Yeah.
Which is a reflection of the coming
322.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon there will be a push, a pressure onto people right here from the.
Yeah. Can everybody hear you properly? Jacob, can everybody hear Lars properly?
Hope so.
Okay.
He hadn't said anything yet, so
okay.
I think it must be okay.
All's good.
Okay, and the 23rd, Mercury is out of retrograde as well, so there will be some flow in it, and communication will go straight again, and not just like now when we are messing around in it.
Yeah. So final countdown for Venus to be on top of Fomalhaut, the 3-3, and Mercury and Jupiter to be conjunct.
Exactly. So the 27th, I'll make another marker with this full moon in Leo for taking in this Merlion we have been talking about. So we got this full moon right here in Leo for bringing in this Merlion instead of Capricorn, as we know her.
Right. So because they want to crucify. The idea is to crucify the mutable, the fixed sign Aquarius Leo into the mutable cross, the skull and bone cross.
Exactly.
So that's exactly the time for them
to move
do
in.
That. Yeah, to move in. So that the goat, Billy, half fish, her energy is used to bring in that Merlion at that moment. Yeah. So the axis Leo Aquarius.
Sure. And then, and pardon my voice, it ain't good today. And 3-3, we got this Mars conjunct the Pleiades, as you have been mentioned a few times as well, Victoria. I see there's attack on the 7 sisters, the 7 chakras. And the warrior went on land as well. Dry land out of cardinal fire, he's going on to land. Solid dry land to start walk.
Yeah.
That's the soldier he's made for.
And Taurus is originally, it's the Taurus, it's our torso, and that 7 is the standing up straight in the middle and it's the 7, it's the last 7.
Sure.
It's the it's that L7.
L7. No, the enemies, they don't like each other, so it's going to be some mess about the communication, the flow, and the desires. It's going to be some kind of mess right there. 3-11, I wrote some coming up.
Well, Mercury, Jupiter is the mutable rulers of the mutable cross, which is the X, which is the 10, and Capricorn is the 10th house. Mm-hmm. So it's really say 10. It's bringing in Saturn at home. That it's their way to impersonate and to kill Saturn to bring in say 10.
Sure, the trickster Mercury. They will do it.
Yeah.
The Joker. And then I wrote down some about 3-11. That's a marker day, we know, 3-11. The sun enters into Pisces. So the sun coming out of detriment, fall, and will be in good condition. So the sun the life energy will awoke again, coming out from Aquarius. What else do I got?
And 3-11 is also that very...
it's 1-11.
Yeah, it's that.
So it's 1-11.
Yeah. Which is the 3 legs. Yeah, 1-1-1.
Yeah, 3 legs as well. And then we got this upcoming 3-2-2 we've been talking about so much.
Yeah.
With Mars and Aldebaran. And we got the sun and Venus blinded by the light in Pisces. So blinded heart. Good condition for the sun. But Mars and Aldebaran on the Capella. So
yeah,
the innocent little goat kid. And I found something about the 5th of April. Jupiter is out of detriment. Is coming in. So now Jupiter is in good condition in Aquarius, coming out of this fall and the debilitation in Capricorn. So it's gonna be growing before he hits home in Pisces. And what else? Sun, Venus, Uranus, Mercury conjunction in Aries, so it's full blown on the Capri, the Garden of the Cross right here as well. The ego, solar plexus, the heart and the tongue, the throat chakra. They're going to blow. It's going to be wild, I think. And I got nothing else to say except then we got this date as Pascal did make a calculation on, which was right here, which was the 100 days from spring equinox in Pisces, or it was 144 degrees instead of 60 times 24. It could be at 8:17 instead of 144 degrees after spring equinox. So, as said many times from Victoria and from me, buckle up. It's just to hang on. It's going to be wild from now on. This 100 days gap or 144 degrees.
So that 144 degrees is still from the 22nd of the 3rd to the 2nd of the 7th, or it's changed?
No, it's the 7th to the 7th right here calculated. But if you go from here, from 0 degrees, it's 144 degrees. So just be ready for both of them, because actually maybe we really don't know. We are a bit guessing about it. So
right.
Yeah. So be careful out there and buckle up. Hang on. That's what I've been writing down, and I think you will add all your stuff into it when you come to your things, your stuff to say, Victoria.
Yeah. We've just got that date of May the 4th be with you and March 4th. March 4th. Yeah. So
you can tell a bit more about that.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
So let's go to the question if there's someone, and I'll just stop sharing right here.
Yeah, so if anybody in the chat has some questions about what Lars just shared, please do. I already got one question from Aloha Health and Beauty. With our awareness of these things, what should our actions be?
Good question. No, it's not laugh, but stay cool. Don't participate, don't consent into this nightmare of things they want to do to us. Don't consent.
Right.
Say no, thank you, in participating. It's hard because we are different places in the world. Our surroundings are different, how many people are around us and where we live. Jacob in Holland, I mean, Denmark, we got a lot of people around us. So it's different condition as maybe living on the prairie in the States. So
yeah,
don't consent.
The population density is a big factor in this.
It is indeed. It's the zombie effect, I think. So hang on to it. Don't participate. Stay cool. Stay low.
A question from Kathy Kentu. Will American dollar die when Mars enters Taurus?
No idea. I have no idea.
No, that's not really to look up in astrology when they want to
No, Taurus is money. I know that. It's about wealth and money. So
We've got the head of the snake in Taurus too. We're certainly going to have food, Taurus food, and this axis of the snake, Scorpio Taurus. And it hits Aldebaran on the 30th of is it April, the 30th of March, April. We've got the head of the snake on Aldebaran.
Sure.
So you know, stuff will happen, yeah, but
we can't actually say it. I can't.
No, it's hard to say what actually will happen, right? So
yeah, because this is the energy that will be open up for it, but we don't have the final schedule. And the planning. If I had it, it would be cool, but I don't.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So
Gina Levelin is asking the question: are we currently in the mutable, fixed, or cardinal cross?
Right now, in the age, it's the age of Pisces, so it's in the mutable age. So,
right.
If that's the question,
I think that's
the sun is right now still in Capricorn. So
yeah,
most
this
planets
moment
are, right?
we're in a high cardinal Earth.
Yeah,
but we're in the mutable age. Yeah. How do I get my?
So having all the planets in the cardinal cross will affect people on the cardinal cross the most, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But it's affecting everyone.
Yeah, it's affecting everyone, right?
Because it's high cardinal energy. I'm not affected. I'm on the cardinal cross. I'm not so affected. I'm just a bit sneezy today and slight cold, and that's it. I haven't been affected, so.
Okay, good. I don't seem to have any more questions, so.
Okay, cool. So then I'll stop sharing and give the word to Pascal, and he can elaborate us into his knowledge. I'm looking forward to it. So off from me, and I'll silence my mic and lean back and listen to Pascal and enjoy.
Thank you. Aloha and Grand Rising, everyone listening in. One is happy and honored to have been invited here. And yeah, hence being able to share one's thoughts. Today, one will be focusing on sharing some esoteric wisdom regarding the green man and some basic natural alchemic techniques to recalibrate one back to a natural vibrational current. So I will share a presentation and read it aloud. And yeah, so you are have the possibility to take screenshots if wanted. And please feel free to just close your eyes and listen with your inner eye instead. And I will be happy to share the presentation afterwards if you want. So I will get up here. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to go to my operating system to allow to share from my screen. So one minute.
Sure, man. Take your time.
I have to get out of Zoom and go back for it to recognize it. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem, man. Try it. It's Mercury retrograde, so this was expected.
So give me a maximum 5 minutes, then it should all be good.
Sure, man.
Okay, well, Lars, are you there, Lars?
I'm here, darling.
You know what? Why don't we just show what happened on the 11th of 4th, that horse, the yellow and black horse,
Okay, you share your picture.
whilst we're waiting. So, share screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Can you see?
Yes.
Now we can see it. Sure.
Okay, well, just this is interesting. So the horse recovering well after getting sucked. So this horse, we've got the horse's head and it's black and yellow. So this represents the Jupiter and Venus conjunction that we had, Venus in black Capricorn and Jupiter yellow playing the role of Asia here.
Sure.
We've even got, if you want, the white as well of Jupiter, the white and yellow, because they've got this horse with, but it's the decapitated horse. So a horse with no name, head, the yellow, black, Aka Jupiter yellow, Asia and Venus. So the horse was, it was at angle C because it's the last angle, it's the last hoof, V. And it's yeah, I would need to show again here. So it was on the 11th. So on the 11th, yeah, so there we've got the Venus and Jupiter, so the yellow, and this makes the black, the yellow and black. They're taking the power, so the Capricorn to decapitate, and then we've got the horse's head here. So what's this called? This again, it's Kitalafa, and then at the same time, it's preparation for the Capella, the decapitation of the tip of the Milky Way, Capella. So coming back here, so that was the official opening of the 4x4 wheel drive. We had 2.2, we had 11.2, we had sun on that day, blinded by the light on the 2.2, on the 11.2. Sets off the 4-wheel drive, and somebody had pointed out to me that this comes from the Mari-Luids, consists of a horse's skull that is decorated. So this is Wales again, Wales, Welsh. This is all about the whale's tail, the skull, the dove, everything we've looked at, and keeping us stuck in the 10, say 10. So yeah, I can't show here. The Mari-Lwyd custom was performed during winter festivals, especially around the dates of Christmas. So our calendar is always 2 months ahead. So we're officially at Christmas now. However, the precise date on which the custom was performed varied between villages and in a number of cases. So it's the skull of a horse. This is what I was talking about. This is the Ferrari, this is the 4-wheel drive, this is the opening, this is the official opening of the Romulus and Remus 4-wheel drive. Okay, I think, are you there, Pascal? Are you ready? Is Pascal ready? Okay, well, we've got the swamp here as well, you see. So we've got the tail of the snake currently in Scorpio.
Drain the swamp.
So which is the swamp, which is the Scorpio, which is the marsh, which is and the head of the snake is coming up to Aldebaran, the bullseye. So the tail of the horse, you know, this is when we have Mars on Aldebaran for the 223, when Mars gets onto Aldebaran here, we will also have just after the head of the snake, and the tail of the snake will be on Antares. So this is the closing of the snake as Mars goes on to Aldebaran opposite. So this is this is that horse's head is very significant. It's very significant. And look, we've got the sun. It's actually the sun that was right on top of that horse's head. So this is really the Ferrari, the whale, the beast of Leviathan, the whale Cetus, Leviathan that is coming up, and that whale's tail, there it is, the dove, that's the messenger, the tail of Jonah. Okay, Pascal, are you okay there? I don't know where Pascal is. I'll stop sharing.
No,
is he not here yet?
no, he's not here yet.
Okay, well, so can you still see my screen?
Sure.
Okay, well, let's come back to this. So where is that? Here we go. Let's have a look at Mary Lude. I hope my computer doesn't break down. That's all I would need. But so this is the Mary Lude. So it's the bride as well, which is very much this axis that we're leaving, Corona and Victor, the Virgo Pisces axis, the bride, the death of the bride. It's the Miss Havisham. It's the wedding never takes place. It's the alchemical wedding that we're meant to be, we're meant to go from the grape Virgo to the spirit alcohol Pisces, and this represents you don't make it, you remain. And also Capricorn rules the skeleton. This is the skeleton, this is the bones, and the skull and bone cross. So it's a south of Wales. So again, interesting because we've got this tail of the snake in Scorpio. So the marshes, and Mary Lude. So there, look, we've got.
And a bit funny to see is that at a marriage, the woman is always dressed in white. The color of death. It's submission big time, right? So
yeah, well, this is what it's all about. This is what Valentine is all about. Valentine was started in the Victorian age. It was first brought up with the romantic movements, but Valentine was, it was a time of rape, of sex, of orgies. But the Victorian Theosophical movement, the Golden Dawn, they created a time where women should be wombed, which was the death of the high cardinal Capricorn woman, because as long as women are looking to be still in this Virgo energy of looking to get married, looking to be in love, then they have no power. They cannot stand up to innocence. That's why we've got children in masks, because no grown-up woman would let children walk around in masks. And that's why in the Victorian era, Valentine's Day was brought back up again.
Keep us in the sandbox on the mutable cross.
It was created so that women were always looking to be
submitted
to be in a couple,
man.
to be submissive. It's the story of O, and it's the bondage. It's the bondage. It's about total servitude, so that the free Martin, the Saint Martin de Tours, this green man, can rise as the 13th sign, as the bee, the black and yellow. So this is really the rising of that black and yellow. That black and
as we see on the streets when they're fighting, they're all dressed in black and yellow.
Are they all? Look at that, the news article. If I open up that news article, the men were all in black and yellow, like in the I Can't Breathe in the basketball. It's all black and yellow because it's the rising. In this article, if I open it up, I'm not sure if we'll see the pictures, but I did notice that everybody was in black and yellow. So yeah, I saw it in another pit they're not going to show. Hey, can you lend a hoof? So this is the last V. I'm up to my neck in it. So this is all about stopping us making the fifth wave. This is all about keeping this fairy, Tinkerbell fairy, keeping women as little oh, here we go. Look, they're all in black and yellow. You see, black and yellow. Black and yellow. And this is about being swamped, stuck in the swamp. So I'm up to my neck in it. We rushed to rescue this horse who got stuck up to her neck in a swamp. Vicky S has covered a lot of the Free Martin and the RSPCA in her videos. There's a big connection to the Free Martins and the RSPCA, which I can't remember right now. That just suddenly reminded me, the RS. Using a front loader and straps, we were able to pull her out, and luckily she was okay. Yeah, well, it's all about, so the 10 minutes, the vet check, the horse was called Farah. I did go and look that up. We got the R, Harris. This is Harris, Farah. Okay.
Yep.
So is
Pascal ready?
Is Pascal ready?
Here and ready.
Oh, super duper. So well, I'll stop sharing.
And I'll do it again.
So how do I stop sharing? Here's Victor. Oh, here we go. Stop sharing. So you stopped it. Well done.
Okay, Pascal, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. So do you all see a presentation screen with a header called The Horned Green Man?
I can see you.
Yeah, you have to share screen.
Just press share screen.
Yeah, on the
bottom, moment.
In the middle.
Yes, yes. One moment.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to get more wood for my fire. I'm coming.
Yeah, we can see it, man. Awesome.
Better?
Yeah.
Great. So, the horned green man is found in many cultures and traditions by various names and forms. From Sanunus in France, Lindburn in Norse, the Green Buddha in Tibet, Pan in Rome, Pashupati in Nepal, Nengishusida, or sometimes as a man with a creature called Vashnu in Mesopotamia. Ausar/Osiris, an aspect of Amun, in Kemet, and originally Oshiri in pre-Kemetic Africa. The character is known for its green color and skin, or rather aura, bent legs in yogic and or meditative position, a torque of noble metals in hand or around its horns, fertility, vigor as the master of animals and god of the underworld. The symbolism involving the green or horned green man started in Kemet and was one of the most depicted icons throughout the astrological age of Ram/Aries, wherein Asar or Oshiri was depicted as such, and hence why pharaohs of that astrological age took the name of the archetypical character of astrological age, which is vivid in the widespread use of its name, as in Ramses, which translates to devoted of the ram, which here is related to the deity known as Khnum, which is the archetypical character of Osar, the living Amun, as Khnum in the astrological age of Ram or Aries. The horned green man is through various cultural traditions associated with the highest aspect of the animal self. In other words, a being who has control over the lower energy centers, the first 3 chakras, and hence being able to rise the energetic signals emanating from these energy centers to their highest phase. Therefore, one finds the horned green man being an allegorical riddle of natural scientific wisdom. So, doing some syncretism, let's see what we can find. First, by relating it to the Kabbalistic tree of life, we found that this character is being associated with both the 7 Sephiroth, the heart, and the 0, the hidden one, also called Da'at. So with this, let's go some deeper into what or who is Da'at, or what does it represent. So in Kemetic cultural tradition, this Sephiroth is known as Asar or Osiris. In even older traditions, the Igbo, this is Oshiri or Igbudu, as found in the original Kabbalah called Kubalal, preserved by the Igbo people. Observing these cultural traditions, one finds that they are mostly the same, yet small variations often hides the purest keys. Doing syncretism, including both the similarities and the unicum of each traditional tales, one finds that being associated with the hidden aspect of life. Going deeper through the Kemetic cultural traditional tale of Ausar, Aman, Amen, Amin, Amun, Amun, the character is viewed as the archetypical character of the original ancestor, and further, as he passed this physical existence, became the god, or in Kemetic language, Nether, a natural principle of the underworld. Asar is usually depicted in the color green, which has several esoteric and exoteric meanings. Chlorophyll makes plants absorb blue and red light, which becomes purple when mixed. It does this to make photosynthesis and reflects green light, which is the opposite of purple. This links green and purple as polarities of the same. Purple is historically associated with the conscious mind, since it is the union of blue and red, the divine feminine and divine masculine polarities. Therefore, green became associated with the hidden life force of reality and the subconscious mind or realm. This is vivid when etymologically analyzing these word sounds and their function, like vitamin or ammonia or amino acid. So back to the original train of thought, one find that the oh, I need some water here.
It's fantastic. Well done, darling. I hope that you can't hear my fire behind. Should I press mute? So noises.
Yeah, that was you. Yeah, we heard some crackling at the background.
Yeah, that crackling is me. So let me get. If
I thought it was the fireworks of the info Pascal was sharing.
It's cool.
But awesome, Pascal. Let's go on.
Great. So yes, this allegorical tale of the green-horned man, or green-horned green man, I found is an allegorical or alchemic navigation guide encrypted as a zip file. So the wisdom found when in the zip file teaches the observer how to consciously raise the animalistic self associated with the root chakra to the crown chakra through the heart chakra, the center. There also seems to be a link to the scientific benefits of several alchemic techniques, which one will go deeper into in the following. So, I'm not sure if you can see the whole screen, or it's only, maybe we'll have to do like this. It's better. Yeah, I think I have to do like this. So, I will take the four base elements, soil, water, fire, and air, and go through some basic techniques each and every one can use to sync themselves or recalibrate themselves with the current of Earth or our habitat. So one I found really, really giving is what is usually called grounding, which can be done in many ways, but usually it's done by walking barefoot. And doing this, the being doing it will balancing the electromagnetic current of ions and further to sync the heartbeat, bloodstream, and the cell production with the natural rhythm of Earth. Furthermore, yoga, which is stretching, which activates and enhances the signal exchange within the nervous system. Furthermore, planting seeds and nourishing relationship with plants, and hereby creating a harmonious relationship with the natural habitat and food source or one's own food source. So a sum up of this would be living on an organic plant-based diet, which serves the body or temple, cleaner energy with the maximum amount of ultraviolet light. In contrast to a carnivorous diet, which is more dense with its high amount of fear hormones released by the animal before dying. Doing all of the mentions above will naturally balance the electromagnetic current of ions entering, working within, and leaving the body / temple. So that was for earth or soil, and I will go to the next, which is water. And the first point here is pure drinking, which is drinking natural spring water, or if not possible, using a filter to purify the water. And that is simply because there are so many heavy toxins within the water today. So it's absolutely necessary, unless you want to use your own body or temple as the filter system. Furthermore, baptizing bath, which is cleansing the body, washing away expelled toxins and dead skin cells. And furthermore, moisture, which helps the body to protect the skin from external traits and aging, and further helps the ability to move the body smoothly. So the sum of this is to clean or cleanse both the body and the nervous system, which can be called the temple and the kingdom of God, which helps dead or old cells and toxins to be expelled and to detach from the body, which also enhance the effect of the blood veins to transport nutrition. Furthermore, do moisturizing with spiritual intents enhance the moving ability of the body. And to the next, fire. Here we are talking about igniting the willpower within. And one of the most simple and widespread practice of this is doing physical exercise, which can be in 1,000 or more expressions. Another way is by sun gazing, which is being in direct sunlight as much as possible to train the body and temple to absorb ultraviolet light. So that, in other words, source for energy rather than second-hand food like plants or third-hand foods like meat can enter the temple directly. So, in a sum up, refining the old template of cell production increases the hormone production and blood flow. Together with a direct intake of ultraviolet light, ignites the internal willpower, allowing one to find one's true calling of expression. And going to the last element, we reach air. And here one of the most basic is breathing, which can be trained in different ways. And the training is in basic to create a new input and output of how we take in and expel oxygen or CO2. And this training is about installing a natural circulation rhythm of breathing into the subconscious mind. So there is no need of conscious focus to reinforce it. Furthermore, meditation, which is about training the mind to be still so that no distracting thoughts are allowed any attention in the ray of focus. So to sum this up, by controlling the signal exchange system within, a new form of solitude is found within. Creative inspiration can enter the mental screen without disturbance, which makes one able to direct the total amount of focused within, towards a single idea from conception to perfection. So, from my own experience of using these techniques, I found them to be very, very rising in my once daily walks. And by remember them by the base elements, it's become more easy to remember the different parts or branches of the techniques. And the further one goes with doing these kind of practices, the more results one will see in the external world. So we are all quite knowing about that our bloodstream or our blood is mostly composed of iron particles. And iron has this strange application within the blood, because when it's mixed with air or oxygen, becomes rusty. And many people have big issues because of clustered veins, which is a result of too much iron and too little cleansing within the veins or the system. But the more we do these things, all the listed and mentioned, we find that our body starts to expel the iron within the blood and instead starts to collect copper in our bloodstream. And for one, it was an amazing experience, firstly to experience, and thereafter to have an opportunity to actually test it and show it to other people. And I found that when we take a picture of ourselves and we turn it through a what do you call it, as editor software to its negative aspect, we will see the opposite color that we saw before. So it will actually show the internal vibrational radiation. And most people, when they take a picture and does this, they will find that they are blue, showing that their internal is mostly based in the iron expression or radiation. But after I did this for about 7 or 8 years, I tested this, and I suddenly found that I was no longer blue, but now I saw myself in a green light, which was, I will show in the next slide here, the exact same color, which is used all over the world to express this idea.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So one thing is to be able to feel the change within. Another is, of course, to be able to show it to others so they don't have to rely or believe in anything. They can test it themselves, and they have a way to test on their way their changes. So there was just a little fun side note for it. And I hope you get something out of my sharings. And
how did you make yourself go green, darling, again? How do you make that picture?
So I took a normal picture of myself, and then I went to a photo editor program, and then you can say or ask it to flip all the colors. So all what is white will be black, and all which is black will be white, and all other colors will flip to their opposite side as well. So
program
actually,
like Photoshop or Ink? Or...
Yes, I'm actually using a free software which is called Lunapic Editor, which is free to use. You can find it on Google. And then you just go under the bar which says filters, and you press negative, and then it will take the normal picture and flip the colors to like this. And as you can see, there is some lighting on the right side. There is this hollow around, which that was actually why I came to the idea, because when I saw this, it was in ultraviolet lighting. So I wanted to test what happened to see with my face and my skin when I did the same.
So did you take the photo in sunlight with the ultraviolet light, or?
No, I'm sitting inside.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find the original photo here. One moment. Otherwise, feel free to
thumbs up for that.
come with any questions. There was a little miscommunication because at first it was planned that I was supposed to speak about word sounds, and there are different kind of effects using different kinds of sound vibrations. But I felt it was a bit too early, not knowing everybody who was listening in. And because at a later time I will hopefully go into this, but there is some, as always, both a constructive side and a more destructive side of all alchemic sciences. So I didn't want to share something which people were not ready to comprehend or receive, and hence using it in a badly wording, but ignorant way, which would be destructive for them in the end. But at next time, I hope to go into word sounds and how the older word sounds of esoteric wordings have a lot stronger force, the older versions we are using. And exactly why I will go into at a later point. But just maybe for people, they can start already to explore the older word sounds of the deities and the planets and the elements, which holds a lot of information as well.
Okay, okay, cool. Does anyone have any questions of what Pascal just shared? Please put it in the chat and we'll try to answer.
Bravo, Pascal. That was so interesting. Wow.
Okay, I already got a question from earlier on. Fiona Kearns asked, what about a cold shower or cold therapy? What is that any good to?
I will recommend it surely. Mostly I would say in the morning. It's a great way to wake up the nervous system, giving it a shock. If one have a bad or a low functional heart, they should be cautious about it and not just jump into it, but maybe do it in phases, so they don't jump into freezing water at the first time, but do it like regularly, colder and colder. But okay, it's a great way to do it. Yes, great way.
Okay. Natasha Moki asked, all my childhood I had weekly blood draws for iron deficiency as well as horrible ferrous sulfate tablets. I'm Rh negative and I wonder how that affected my copper blood.
It should be a question, regular, which kind of blood type it is. But I guess it sounds like it's not O.
No, she's Rh negative.
I heard, yeah.
Okay.
But Rh negative is it's compatible with all the blood types. So each of them has a plus or a minus.
Okay, right.
Actually, I think next time or another time, I will really like to go into blood types as well, because it's a really, really interesting journey to dive into. But I think we have to go through some word sounds first, and then that will be suiting afterwards, I would think.
Okay, thank you. Scott Jeffrey asked, how do I research the sounds, Pascal?
So great questions. It will be searching the old cultures. I would recommend going to Kemet, or what usually is called ancient Egypt, and through there go through the African sources, because all this science is springing out of Africa and emerging other places afterwards. So actually what I found was that the Igbo language is a language which can be traced back 10,000 years and is the natural, the etymological codex of all later languages is in existence. So that is why we have the nowadays wording of Kabbalah, which springs from Kurbala, which means the wisdom of earth, or the wisdom of the body. So to the question how to seek them, when you find like an old word sound like Kemet instead of ancient Egypt, when you just start to type Kemet into Google or other search bars, you will start to notice that you will get a lot of different hits, because those people speaking about Kemet is not the same people who use the wordings like ancient Egypt. So when we find the right or the old word sounds, we will start to get new hits on our seeking. So a Kemet is a great word sound to start this journey. And then you will find all the deities in their original word sound from that time, which is around 5,000 years old. And then you can go even further looking through the Igbo word sounds. But that is a whole theme for itself, I would say. That is very big to go into.
Okay, cool. Kathy Kenshu asked, do you know about the different types, B, H, and O? I think she's talking about the blood types.
Yes, you can observe it like the O is the original blood type. Then came the A, then came the B, and then came the AB. So all of them is a expression of transformative genes. So you can also call the blood type A the child of blood type O, and the blood type B the child of A, and so on. So you can see them, or to see them in historical and mythological reference. You can, but it's the most precise, to view the O blood type as what is called the Titans in the Greek mythos, and whom they call the Olympians are the blood type A. And then since then we have blood type B and AB.
Okay, thanks. Scott Jeffrey asked, do you consider the Sanskrit language in the same vein as Kemetic languages?
There is a lot of the wisdom of Africa, which is composed or saved in the Vedic traditions, but the Vedic tradition is much newer than most people think it is, because it's speaking about older cultures and civilizations which were existing before the Vedic or Sanskrit language. So there's a lot of wisdom to gain there, but just bear in mind that if one should read it, they should read the original texts and not the translations. And that, of course, means that one have to learn the Vedic language or Sanskrit language, which is a fun thing to do, I think. But I'm of this mindset that I don't believe in any translations. I always do my best in teaching myself and seeking knowledge and how to decipher older scripts and read it for oneself, because it's often you find that the translations has a corruptive sense of trying to drag it in a direction which is not the truth, and that is a main part of the Vedic translation, sadly. The same with the Mesopotamian as well. So that is why I always use Kemet as the reference, because everything you see in Kemet is just pure science, scientifically. And there is no way to translate it. You can only look at it, and with the trained mindset and an inner open eye, you will be able to translate, or rather transliterate, the scientific wisdom which is scribed onto the walls.
Sure, and that's why the alchemical symbolic language is so important to know, because when one knows that, one knows to look into natural laws and all the equations of nature. You can't mix them up. So that's the way to go. Look into this natural way of living and the equations of that. You can't bend them. It's impossible. So the alchemic teaching, alchemical teaching, is really the key to solve it.
Right. So with alchemical knowledge, you can also decipher every language, right?
Most of the scripts you can, if you take the Bible and you read it with alchemical symbolic language, it's a whole another story to read.
Right.
So, yeah.
So Scott Jeffrey has the last question. What about the Nordic and Scandinavian system?
It's the same story as the Bible, just with some other characters. It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same. So you can see it actually as a cultural tradition, which most of the Nordic and Asiatic cultures gained directly from Africa, or from the times of Kemet, and then it spread, and then they transformed it to their own regional culture. So of course, an giraffe or a lion couldn't explain the same allegorical expression as other animals in the Northern Hemisphere, because people didn't know what a giraffe or a lion or something like that were. So they had to change it to serve the purpose in other climates and regions.
Okay, awesome.
Very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple. Yep.
That's the questions for Pascal, I think. So.
Thank you very much, Pascal.
Yeah, thank you for all
very
your wisdom,
interesting.
man. Very interesting information.
Glad to hear. Happy to hear. Thanks.
Yeah, people in the chat also like it very much. So.
Thank you, Pascal. That's just incredible. You're very silent. You're very modest on Facebook. When you do a post, it's always very good. But you are a true humble shaman. Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you. And of course, I have the presentation. So if it's easier for people like that, I can send it. So please just reach out a hand, and I'll send it to you.
Can I share your Facebook name so people can connect to you?
Yes, please do.
Okay, will do. So now then, it's the floor to Victoria, I think.
Okay, that was fantastic. Thank you. So that's really kind, because I said to Pascal, I think Pascal wasn't planning to talk about the Green Man, but you changed your course really quickly to fit in. That's very kind. So I'm going to share the screen. And I'm sorry that I don't have PowerPoints. I wish I did. I've just got Facebook. Can you see my Facebook?
Yes, we can, darling. We can.
Okay, so Facebook, it's not exactly. I just did a little picture. I wish I knew how to draw on the screen, but I don't. So I drew this just before. Can you see my little picture here?
Yes, we can.
You can see that little picture. Okay, can we get that bigger? Why have I got half like that? Oh, I suppose it's always half like that. Okay, so I just drew this before because I want to show just this importance of the fifth wave that we're going into. So we we have to get off our 4 corners. We're leaving the skull and bone mutable cross. We're leaving the last V for victory. We're leaving Pisces. So in fact, this is upside down, but just so it's easier to understand, we put Jupiter at the top. So in the beginning, right at the top, we had Aquarius and we had Capricorn, and we had this first gap of where we had the first mutable gap. So we're now up here and we're trying to reach to 5th wave, 5th consciousness, but we've got this 10. We've got this 10, which keeps us stuck, and it's like an invisible wall. It's this invisible wall that we're trying to get through to find our head. So yeah, this is when you've just, I've just got so much, and my phone is very difficult for me to. So if you look at this here, you can see that we've got the Taurus fields. So this is a Taurus field. You can see the arrows. It goes around like that. And you've got the sine wave that goes up and down in the middle. And you've got this jet that comes up and round. So we have little by little discovered the solar pillar. So it began with Sagittarius. So that was the fire, and that was the solar 5 ages. Then we had the flood, Kali at the bottom, and then we've had the lunar ages, and now we're coming out of the last lunar age. So 5, 5, and that is the end of the sun and the moon, and that is what brings us back into the kingdom. But this is what we're playing for. We're playing to come back. So we've got like this is the neutron, the proton, the electron. This is you've got here the 2 angles, and which makes, it's like half of an apple. This is like half of an apple. You've got the 5 seeds. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the seeds of the apple, and this opens the 8 gateways. So it's like an umbrella. We're going to end the wheel of 12 times 30, and we're moving into the 5 seasons to make this 360. So this is what we're playing for now. So the snake and this is coming. So we've got Romulus and Remus, axis, masculine, Sagittarius, where it first opened. And then we had Virgo, the second opening. I'm kind of showing it as the big ball, but it's not really. So we've got Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and here Pisces. So this axis is Romulus and Remus, Sagittarius and Gemini, and this axis here is I call it Corona and Victor, Virgo, and Pisces. So I'm going to take you through the pictures and come back to this. I've got my fire falling to pieces behind me as well. I'm just going to put the fire back. I'm coming. The fire. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh. Voila. Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So we're going to go through pictures. Up. I'm going to go through pictures. Can you hear me, darlings? Is everybody there?
Okay. Go on, darling.
Super. It's very, very tricky wiki when everybody is on that. So let's go to first pictures. So, so you see, we've got to get through this invisible wall, which is Narcissus, which is Libra, which is, you know, this is going through the mirror is when you're no longer stuck. This is Pisces, you see, this is the gateway. We got to get through the reflection of our own flesh to get through this invisible wall. Oops. So off we go. Got lots of pictures. You got to get a little bit crazy. You got to go crazy to get through. So I'm going to go very quickly through these. I've got 3 layers of pictures, but this is not the most important. But we're going to just start with this because this is, again, this is the swastika. So this is that middle of what I've just shown you. So this is the wheels, and this was set off with the 211. So this is about to begin now. The spin is upon us. You can read that. I'll get my thinking going again as we come. So this is the DNA. We're at the chromosomes. We're coming. We've got to get through. So this is this last door we're going through. This last coffin. Now, this is interesting. Here we've got this last triangle. This is the 77. And look, we've got the date. We've got the 7/2, which is the date from the 22nd of the 3rd to the 2nd, the 7th, the 2nd of the 7th, 72. Is that, I just thought that was interesting. So this is the How Wow, which is being set off. This is the Hawaii 50. So 50 is very important. Is this the Cornwall G7 is 5005, and I'm going to be talking about the Isle of Wight, which is 50. This is very important. The 5, the 10. So this is that angle, the 45 angle to get past the throat, to come up, to find your head. We've got to get through this last angle here. Okay, I'm going to go through quickly just to get my thinking, because I've got so much to think about. So this is just looking at, is this your picture, Lars?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay, I don't know. It looks like one of your pictures. So this is what we're coming through, this last door of Pisces. So we've got Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, Pisces. We've got to find our heads. And this is why a lot of people are, are going to start leaving us, because they can't make this frequency. So this is going to be the equinox. Okay, so this is, again, the black and the yellow that we were just looking at. So it's the I can't breathe. This is exactly what we're going to have on the 3/3 crucifixion when we have when we've got Jupiter and Mercury, the rulers of the skull and bone, conjunct on the 3/3. And this was preparation of that horse you just saw, the black and the yellow, the decapitated horse. And this represents Jupiter. This represents Jupiter trying to merge with Capricorn black, he wants to take over from Capricorn and Aquarius. He wants to put himself yellow Jupiter with black Capricorn, squashing her. So again, that's that Falcon, and there's a big Falcon 9 turbulent machine. If you go and look up Falcon 9, it's a big machine like this. That's the horse, that's the sine wave, that's the merry-go-round. So that was that rocket, which is the postcode of where I live, as you know. Okay, we're just going to whiz through these pictures. It's not as important as where we're going. So this is the green man. This is what Pascal has just shown us. This is all to do with Lupercalia, Valentine. This is their fake green man. This is originally this little man was known as TAMMUZ, which is like Mr TUMNUS. This is the son of the sun and the moon is Mercury. The only way that they can keep the middle pillar is through Mercury. Venus, Saturn, and Mercury rule the middle pillar, but they're trying to use Nike, Cupid, TAMMUZ, the green man, to have control of the middle pillar by taking over this axis here, which is Sagittarius, Gemini, and they're making this gap just between here to put the peg in the leg so that they keep their skull and bone and crucify Aquarius with Pisces, that's going to make the Merlion, the Merlion, the Merlin here. And you see, that's what that would then make yellow black Jupiter and Capricorn. You know, normally we should have this Aries and Taurus merging, and that's what we're going to have. All this is going to take place as we've got Mars that will come onto Aldebaran, which I'll be showing you. So again, we're at the last V, we're at this gap, we're at this last V for victory. These are Lars's pictures, Earth FI. So again, there's the 7-7, which I'm going to be showing you. This is the ladder. There is the Salaman lizard at the bottom. So Cornwall, there's a lizard at Cornwall. And here's the whirlwind that's just been set off. We've got to get through our torso. So, you know, the torso, we've got two vortexes in our torso. We've got the sexual vortex at the bottom, and we've got the throat vortex. So men don't have the bottom vortex. Men have only got their arsehole. And that is the difference. That is the difference. That's why it's so bad to make Taurus into masculine, because that means that you're rising, you're opening this gateway through through anal sex. Women have got that gateway, you know. So, but we can all get through the throat. We can all get through the throat because we've all got a heart. We've all got a heart. So that's the right, left. Those are the S's. So the swastika, they've given us the swastika with angles, but it's originally the S's. It's the 4 S's. Okay, so that's 7, 7, Golden Dawn, and this is the retrograde that we've got at the moment, 777. And this is that last gateway to get through the throat that we're living now. So I don't know why I threw him in, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're coming to this 550. There's that M. So there's the E at the bottom of my picture that I just showed you with the torso field. You've got E at the bottom. You've got E. The E is the number 4 root chakra. 6 is the F. 10 is the J, 8 is the heart, L is the throat, 16, and then M is the 96 at the top, and this is the Free Martins that are trying to, the Jupiter and Mars are trying to take that. There's your Cornwall, Sinbad the Sailor coming up. There's Lord of the Rings. This is a crocodile that was found in Toulouse, where there's the Golden Triangle where I live. So they found this crocodile, obviously, because it's the enormous crocodile. It's the Pac-Man, the opening and the shutting. It's Amit. It's Momo, the Lord of the Rings, who froze the 39. Look, we've got Dot Cotton there as well. Dot. And there's Momo himself in the Hall of Mirrors. And there's Amit. And we're at the last V, we're at the crocodile now, we're at the Pac-Man. So this is in Baghdad Cafe. You've got JM, Jupiter and Mercury, and this shows Austria. They've just bought out the new European coin, which is 50 again, or 50. So Austria and Africa. This represents taking over the Solstice line. Africa is that Solstice line, a skull and bone cross, white and black. So Crocodile Dundee, and there they show us the J and the M again, and that's the Baphomet. The Baphomet, you've got the 2 slithers of the moon, the black and the white. Okay, so this is just the middle. This is the K, the KK. This is the two chirons of each side that block the heart gateway of the torso. So they've got the torso field, and K represents as the 12th letter, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. No, it's the 11th. It's the 11th. It's the 11 KK. Okay, I don't want to. So we're coming up to this pumpkin. And here in the Babylonian tongue, the word for heart was Baal. So Baal is one bull, but you've got to have two bulls on each side of the torso field. On each side of the torso field, there are two bulls, unless you find your heads. And if you find your head, you become the last bull. But they want to keep us in the arse. This is the arse, the heart. They've made the heart, or you find it through the heart gateway, as Pascal explained to us. So a symbol of Nimrod, the Baal or Lord of Babylon, he was a mighty hunter. So this starts with Sagittarius. Just as Cupid has a bow and arrow, and Valentinus was a common Roman name meaning mighty. Valens in Latin, February the 14th. So again, that 7-7 is 14, and 1 and 4 is 5. So you got to open the heart gateway through the throat, 7-7, those two birds. And this is the 5-seeded heart that we're coming back through, 1 and 4, and the Osiris is put back together again, or you remain separated. So today was a day of unbridled sexual lust, indicated by the heart-shaped female posterior. The mother of a male child was purified 40 days. So you know that 4 and 4 is the 8, which opens this gate. And but you've got it. This is it represents the throat, or the 5, the 8 and the 5. Venus takes 8 years to do a 5-petaled flower. After January the 6th, birth of sun god was February the 15th, beginning previous evening on the 14th. Learn not the way of the heathen, 10-2, okay? 84 days, that's the journey of Uranus, countdown. The 4 musketeers is just the 4 corners of the skull and bone. We're going through the smoke and mirrors now. The Louvre, the Loop, the Wolf, Lupercalia. This is the pop-off. This is the radio signal, the beep beep. The fool, the wise man, the beggar or king, whether poor or rich, all the same in death. So picnic at Hanging Rock, Valentine, Victoria. Victoria in Australia is again, its longitude, latitude is the 144,000. I'm going to be showing you number 10, acting like the Joker. So Downing Street, 10 Downing Street, they've got us upside down. They're crucifying us upside down. Normally the sun and the moon merge, 5 and 5. And we make it in through to the 96. We're no longer in the 69, upside down. This is the spin, the right, left. So Moby Dick, this is Romulus and Remus. The G7 was at Biarritz, the 64th department last year. Okay, so here's the Green Man. Here's Cornwall. This is at the 0550, and there's Lizard, little Lizard down here. Again, this is what's happening on the 2-2 of the 3rd, Mars on the bullseye, Mars on Aldebaran. So at the same time, we're going to have the head of the snake here. This is the invisible wall you've got to get through. And G7 is just JL cuts. As you know now, cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So we leave the spin, and all the fixed and cardinal signs will merge, but they want to crucify the fixed cross in that mutable gap. They want to put the fixed cross on those mutable gaps. So that was that rocket again that was set off at 3229, which is my postcode here in my little village. And this is again Incy Wincy Spider. This is in my village. It's the labyrinth, and that's what I've just shown you. This is very, very important. This is what we're setting off to make our heads, to get our head. When you set off fire, earth, air, and water, you can get your fifth consciousness. When you can temper your temperance, you can deal with water, blue, and fire, red, feminine, and masculine. You make the purple, and which is, as Pascal explained, that reflection of the heart of the green. And this is what we're playing for now. So it's all very important, 1939, because that was the last time that Uranus was in Aries. So we've got the V for victory, the sexual organs. This was the death, the arse, and now we're at the hippocampus, the V in the heads. And we've got Aldebaran, we've got the head of the snake, which has gone from this time to now. And this is also the longitude, latitude I'm going to be showing you is the 939. Okay, that's the Scotland, JL, this is the cut. Very important. This is just, she's representing that Jacob's ladder, JL, and here, this is what we're coming to. So look, the E, the M, this is what I've just noticed in my picture, what I've just put. E is the bottom, 69, M is the top, and that's why they want to crucify us in M, which is 1313, which is 26, which is the 8th gateway, which gives us this 5-petaled flower. There's, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're leaving the 12. This opens and shuts. It's a continuous opening and shutting. It's so once you can breathe and you can open and shut, you find this fifth wave consciousness. It's not a place we're going to. It's a state of being. It's a state of being. And it's the wall you've got to get through. So this RR represents 1818. 1818 is the 360 wheel. And once you become conscious of that, you can then create from the 12, 30 times 12, and we become 5 times 72 to make 360. So that is, you know, either you can, it's where we're coming to. Okay, again, this is my little village, which I'm going to be showing. It's important. That is the middle. That is the apple, the L, the L, app. You've got to make the middle of that vortex field, which is where I live. That's why the labyrinth is here, and that's why where I live is this 5-pointed. So there's the spider web. That's just Incy Wincy Spider. That's why they put the labyrinth on a drain pipe. It's Incy Wincy Spider. He goes up and down like the umbrella. So this is what I'm going to be taking you today. This is Tinkerbell. This is the front of the Rolls Royce of Bentley. This is the Ecstasy. This is the front of the boat. This is, you know, this is what they've turned to keep us stuck without us finding the heads. They've created this merlion, because the wheel opened with Sagittarius, which is half man, half horse, and it ends with the mermaid that they've put on the front of their boats. So there she is. This is the spirit of ecstasy. This is not a woman. It's not a fairy. This is Mercury. This is TAMMUZ, or Nimrod, or Baal. It's the same. It's the same. So that's keeping us in the skull and bone. And I'm going to show you. We're coming to this now. So again, that's interesting. That shows it's like the whale, the tail of the whale, the dove. It's the same thing. And right, let's go. let's go. I hope my whole computer doesn't close down. It's working a little bit better. I found a lovely man, and I'm going to get a new computer. He's going to set me all up. But this lovely man here, Peter, I met him the other day. He's going to make me an incredible office, and I'm going to have 2 screens. Oh, and I'm just going to get so organized. You're not going to believe how organized I'm going to get. So picky pictures, right. Let's wheelie through these really fast. So this is what's happening on the 322, Marianne Faithfull. This is the great-great-grandmother we're going to be coming to. This is her, the May Queen. So it's all, this is the dove, just reminding you all, the tail of the whale, the top of the cadeus. This is Mercury. This is Mr TUMNUS. This is Cupid and Valentine. This is all the same thing. This is why it's so important to get that it's all the same thing. So this is so you don't reach your 5th wave. You don't reach your cherry on the cake. We've got, these are the gangsters. This is the fly, the Lord of the Flies. He's not going to let you, the surveillance. They don't want you to get there. They don't want you to find. Here's the flies. It's what we're going through now. So this is how it happens. It goes round the sine wave, and we're going to have a 5th wave. We're going to have a 5th wave. We've got 4 at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have a 5th. So instead of having 12, when the 5th wave comes in, this becomes 8. So when this is 4 waves, we've got 12, but when it becomes 5 waves, we'll have 8. Okay, so Cupid, this is Psyche and Eros and Psyche. This was the beginning of the romancing the stone. And this was the beginning of the seduction of the female and romancing and putting us under a spell. This is Captain Hook. And this is the spell we've been under. So women have not, you know, we've become hooked in love, and you know, it's all I'm going to be showing you. So this is the Victoria in front. There's Victoria. There's Moloch, the owl, or Altes, the tail. Look, there's the tail of the whale. The same thing. And she's holding. She's got. So I've got lots of stuff written here to help me remember. So you've got, at the top of the central pylon stands a gilded bronze winged Victory standing on a globe. So there's the globe. So she's standing again on the head. This is like the 7th sister of what we're going to have when we've got Mars on the 3-3 on the 7th sister. We are meant to find, we're meant to rise. This was all, and you see she's holding the ball, and there's a ball there. So these are the 2 balls which are the either side of the Taurus field. And this fairy standing on one, we're meant to become the middle of the Taurus field, to find our head, but they blocked like Atlas. You see she's holding the balls, they're stopping the balls. So beneath her are personifications of constancy, holding a compass with its needle. So this is the needle again, pointing true north, and courage, holding a club. Beneath these, on the eastern and western sides, are 2 eagles with wings outspread, representing the empire, so Jupiter. Below these, statues of an enthroned Queen Victoria facing the Mall, and of motherhood facing Buckingham Palace, with justice facing north-west towards Green Park, and truth facing southeast 36. Oh, it's not actually, that's Wikipedia. These were created from solid blocks of marble, with truth being sculpted from a block weighing 40 tons. So I'm gonna take you to see the pictures, but this is really blocking that butterfly, And this is Tinkerbell. This is the fairy on top of the Christmas tree. This is keeping us in 7 chakras. We need the ethereal 14, we've got the physical flesh 7, but we need the ethereal 7 to become above the horizon, to get our head out of, from beyond this invisible wall. 7 is just the 7 chakras. You need to integrate the 14 to be that picture I showed you in the beginning. This is naughty Mercury putting himself up here as, oops, you haven't shared your post yet. I don't want to share anything. Continue editing, leave. Okay. So here she is again, there's the owl. And this is Consort. Funny, because the first, I had a horse called Consort, Prince Consort, a little pony called Prince Consort. So there you've got the pigeons that I've been showing you, the 4 legs. It's like the Eiffel Tower. And they're making this temple. There's the triangle. You know, they're blocking the eternal. They are worshipping the 4 beasts, the 4 legs. When we need our head, Ed. See, they've got Consort in the middle here. So again, this is like the lions, the merlion again. And this is, so this is Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is not what we want. This is at Lupercalia, victorious, glorious, the little fairy. There she is. She's there at Lupercalia. There's the last leg, D'Artagnan. And there is the Statue of Liberty with, again, exactly like Prince Consort. And this is the Narnia, Mr TUMNUS. So worshipping TAMMUZ. This is us. This is our Taurus field in the middle. And they want to keep us stuck with this Nimrod. So I'm going to be, let me show you a little bit the secrets behind Rolls Royce. So Romulus and Remus. Okay, so we've got the secrets behind Rolls-Royce, Bentley. So Bentley's new flying spur comes with the option of a large upright flying bee mascot on the hood, right? So there's the 13th sign, worshipping the 13th sign. And this is, I haven't looked into anything. I've just thrown all this together, but you can see it's all straight away there. So that's the heart gateway, the 8. They're taking over. So the 24 hours of Le Mans is again keeping us fixed in the 12. We're meant to be coming back to this 8. So here we've got the Rolls Royce. So the goddess Nike. This is Nike, which is not, this is Mercury. This is Mercury. This is TAMMUZ. This is not a female. This is Peter Pan. It's Peter Pan. So the spirit of ecstasy, she's got her arse in the air. So again, bringing us to Ferrari, Enzo Ferrari. That's why I showed in my last video that I did the rendezvous of Coluche, of him driving through Paris in a Ferrari, the black stallion. That's why we were just shown a black stallion decapitated in the marsh. And there's always this connection with World War to now. So Baraka flew with the Cavallino, rampant emblazoned. So Jupiter is the horse. It's always the horse. Singular black horse buried in the red and black Swabian hood badge. Okay, so 1966, that's again always reference to the 69, 96, either Flesh 666 or Finding Spirit 999. Okay, Aston Martin has got, there's the wings, there's the tail, there's the whale. So we've got a polycast, Ecstasy. Okay, so in 20 workers, 10 hours. Right, let's come back to pickies. So what have I got written here? So these are the mermaids found. This is this is what they want to do to Capricorn. Capricorn represents the bone structure, and she's half fish. So you know, they've taken this image of Capricorn, and they've taken her as their Titanic. This is just representing the front of the Skull and Bone ship. You see. Now, this is Vicky LaMotta from, this is the Raging Bull. So the Raging Bull has been let go now. So here's the bull ring, the Lord of the Rings, Momo. Got the Raging Bull. There's the man. This is, you know, it's always inverting. You see, this is the inversion always, female, male. And yeah, this is absolutely. So there's apparently been something about Britney Spears. I haven't had time to look into it, but this is, again, she had the Raging Bull. And we're now in the year of the ox. The year of the ox has just been began. So the year of the 10, the ox, we're full in it. This is it. Black and yellow, of course, because that represents Taurus, black, yellow, Aries, and Mars. So, you know, as these guys merge, Jupiter wants to merge with Capricorn, and they want to kill Capricorn, 10th house. Virgo, they want to merge with Libra, and they're going to bring up this bull. Okay, now this is the Isle of Wight, which is a diamond, which is also that whale tail. Can you see the whale tail? And this is what's going to be merging as Mars and I'm going to be showing you the pictures, but as Mars goes on to Aldebaran, this is the closing of the snake and the raising of the dragon. And interestingly, in 2016, the same year that had the waking of the dragon on the Isle of Wight, to raise this dragon, as Kate and William came to where I live, where I'm on the same axis as the Isle of Wight. This is the 5-0. The Isle of Wight is the 5-0, Hawaii 5-0. 2016, which is the Merlin. We had the eclipse last year. 2020, we had on the Wand of Merlin on the 21st of the 6th, which represents 2016, and Kate and William, who came in 2016 to the chateau to my right, which is called the Well of the Dragon. So that was the opening of this dragon. So this is, I'm going to show you, but they've got the 7-7 just here. So, and this is the 4 parts, this is like that butterfly. It's like our skull or our sexual organs. It's the rising of the dragon. This is the dragon tree in the Isle of Wight. There's the white dragon. That's the dragon tree. Does this hide here? Okay. So cows, this is very important. This gap here shows again the L, and this is the, you know, like the whale's tail or the dove. This is the Taurus field opening. We've got the snake. The head of the snake is going to be closing here. This is Taurus, the head, and the tail, it's like the rattlesnake. the rattlesnake, the needles, the 3 needles that we see with the merlion. It's the tail of the snake, it's the rattlesnake. And I was actually just looking at the rattlesnake. And again, you've got the reference to the 5-0 with the rattlesnake. Here. Interesting. Where did I see the 5-0 of the rattlesnake? Okay, well, it's come Mexico, so this is the original where we should be going. We should be going back to North America, South America, coming back to the feathered flying snake. So, yeah, if you go and see that, it's, so this is Freshwater Bay, where my great-great-grandmother lived, just here. It's the last horseshoe. Now this is, again, there's that 99669, and there's the L, the 77L7, and that 5, and this is the Rolls Royce in Melody Nelson. So Nelson's column in Trafalgar Square, and there's Gainsbourg and Jane Birkin. See, this is a woman. You can see that that's a woman. So the changing, she's got the wheels within wheels, and the Rolls Royce, Melody Nelson. You see this little woman with the man. And this is a film more on the island of Ibiza, and it's about Sirius Minor, Pink Floyd, more. There's the windmills being set off now. And this is Gloria, the song Gloria. Yeah, so Victorious and Gloria, which is this woman, 5 to 1, 1 in 5, no one here gets out alive. So this is those stuck in 10. Nikola Tesla and Walt Disney, the Tinkerbell, which is what I'm going to be showing you here, is taking over the green man, taking over our gap, taking over our energy field, keeping us stuck. Do you remember the film Tess? Roman Polanski did Tess. So this is the T, again, those female sexual organs, which is the V for the victory at the top. This is the decapitation. This is where you charge the car, but it's actually, there she is on the 5-pointed star. So this is my village, the 5-pointed star. This is the heart of the torso field, which they're blocking. I'll show you. La Marianne decapitated. This is what we're coming to. They don't want you to get past this. And that is just the Tesla. The Tesla I just showed you. So you've got to get through this invisible mirror. You've got to get through the invisible wall. There's Venus. This is this last gateway. This is Pisces that we're coming through. And this is the egg. This is that either you stay as a narcissist, your reflection, or you find your head and you implode or explode. Implode or explode. So he's still looking when he had to just go through the mirror. He just had to go through the mirror. So here is the North Pole meridian, and you've got, this is longitude, latitude, 9630369. And so this is like the Pascal again. We've got the two sides. And this, you know, we're coming through the last V for victory to come to stand up straight. Otherwise, we're just continually swinging. Venus comes back. So this is Freshwater. So that's where my great-great-grandmother was, right here. This is that last. And Fort Victoria North. So this is why we've got the Victoria Memorial in front of Buckingham Palace, and there's the vine. You've got to get from the viticulture, from the wine to the spirits, the needles, that's that snake. So we're at the 50-year celebration of Apollo. So just like we've just brought out the Peter Pan 50p, in France, they've just brought out same thing, a Harry Potter coin, but this is Apollo 14. Have you found your 7-7? Have you found, otherwise you're going to be crucified in the 7 chakras if you still think that anybody went to the moon. And here's the Peter Pan 50p. Do you still believe in fairies? Do you still believe? Or can you find your head eds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they want to keep you in the 7 chakras, if you believe. So there's Captain Hook, if you're still hooked in Cupid and Valentine. It was a tick-tick of the crocodile. There's Amit. Second to the right, straight, and then straight. All children. So this is, yeah. This is, so there's that horse head. This is the new European. So they want to put, this is the Cairo, and they want to put the sword in the stone. They're keeping us in the sun and the moon. There's 10, 11, 12 up there. And there's that stag. And that's, so we've got the 4. I'm not sure how many are there. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3. I thought there was only 4. But you can't really see. You can't really see. Right, so that's that. So you see, this is the torso field, but they've got Gemini. They've got the Gemini twins and these 2 R's. So they're keeping an opening to the underworld with these R's here. They're blocking the top. That torso field. Right, that's over. We're nearly finished. Yeah, honey, maman travaille. Maman travaille. Tu attends. Okay, if everyone's not fast asleep by now, honestly, I wish I could be really super organized. The last pictures should bring us, so let's just have another quick look at my picture here to remind you of what I'm kind of doing. So we've got, you see, there's the E in Lars's picture. You put the E and the M. That you got E, F, J, K, K, L, M. And this is the 7-7. Got to get through that throat to get your head. Is when you become a master of the 4 temperatures of the fire, earth, air, and water, cold, hot, moist, humid, and you can be the absolute master of your snake and your torso field, you see. So my last pickies to show you is not the babies. Here we go. So this is a famous film that Walt Disney made about climate change. And you've got to go and see that film. So 1969, again, it's always the Cancer at the bottom, the 969. And this film, more means the middle path. And Oko is the harrow or the sickle. So you've got, it's about heroin addiction, drug. This was, you know, really killing everybody off, depopulation, they're killing everyone. So there's little Tinkerbell, who's actually Mercury. So this is about that film. And look, he's called Dr. Wolf. He's called Dr. Wolf. Again, it's always the wolf. So this is the longitude, latitude of Biarritz. Aignan, yep, it's on the same, the 4-3, okay. So there's Walt Disney with his Tinkerbell. Isle of Wight is 5005. She's the 5, and Cornwall is 05005. So she is the 5. She is the heart gateway of my picture that I show you. She is the diamond, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. This is the middle. Lucifer, this little fairy, wants to block us. They want to take over this middle gateway, which is the Isle of Wight. So this is the film, Eyes in Outer Space. And look what they show us in the film. This is the explosion. It's Tinkerbell. So look, they show us the donkeys and they show the Pac-Man that opens and shuts. The crocodile, which I've showed you in my videos of how with that torso field and it's opening and shutting, that umbrella's opening and shutting. So Almagnac, that is where I live. It's Armagnac. Gers means German. Allemagne, Allemand, the Germans, the Gers, where I live is the Gers. 3264, they control the weather. And there you've got the crocodile and the skull and bone, the 4 directions of the wind, north, west, east, south. As long as we cannot control our own alchemical process, we will never make it through this invisible wall. And look, they show us the HH, which Lars, you showed us at the beginning, that HH 88, and there is the LL. It's the 88, the heart, and the LL to get through the 7714, or the LLKK, Cairo. And there they show us the 69 again. This is in that Walt Disney film. So there's the house, the White House. And look what I found in the middle of, so I was looking with Lucy. Lucy has been very kindly showing me loads of pictures, but I went and had a little look, and we were having a look together the other day, and I said, close in, Lucy, and this is right on the snake at Gatcombe. You've got the 2 L's where the snake goes across the Isle of Wight. They've left 2 pieces of land. It's the LL. So this is the heart, dame, am, or the dam. So am is the DNA, the am, and ed, if you want to get your ed head. So there she is with her purple hair. And there's that dove again, the 2 sides of, so there's CC crucifixion. I don't know when this was, if this is old or new, but there's the 2 little boys on either side of their, this is their new king. They want to put, this is Romulus and Remus, and they want to put this fairy, which is actually Mercury. So there's Freshwater Bay, and you've got St. Martin's, always the Martins, the Martin, and there's that L or the Y or the L here, and this is the head of the dragon and the needles. So it's the diamond. This is the Lupercalia festival. Lupercalia festival. So you've got Ra, Baal, Yeshua, Jesus. It's all the same. There is the Statue of Liberty holding the Baal, the bull, worshipping the bull. When it's the 2 sides of the torso field, you've got the 2 bulls on each side of the torso field, but they're controlling it. They're holding the bull. They don't want us to find our heads. To find our head, you've got to find your head. They worship the arse. This is the arse. This is Cupid. This is the heart. This is the arsehole. So there's Mother Goose. There's Tammuz. So this is Tammuz. This is keeping people in seduction. And this is Deneb, Eros. And he's got his harp. So this just represents here Okay, my computer's being very, very, very good. So forgive him if he just warms up. And voila. So he's just, there we've got Mother Goose, Deneb, the Vega, and Altair, and there's Lupac. So this is the triangle, keeping us stuck in the triangle. And there's that horse head, the 211 four-wheel drive, got the sun right on that horse head. And who was, for the black moon, we had the black moon, for goodness sake, on that. I mean, wow. Okay, so coming back. So there's that Mother Goose that represents the triangle, Cupid, TAMMUZ, the pagan god, and there we've got the sun god, Nimrod, the moon, and this is that fairy. This is why, this is the same, this is the fairy on the top of the cake, and there's the bull, Baal, and there's that 5-pointed star. They want to keep us. So Venus, Mercury, and Saturn normally rules. This is the middle pillar, and this is how they're trying to take over the middle pillar when we should become the Taurus field. That's why there's that inside out thing going on. As long as we are not the observers, we are still being controlled by the sun and the moon. So this is Mercury, this is Mercury, this is not, this is why they've got on the front of the cars. So picture to the left is in Valentine's Day Nimrod, the original Cupid, by MM, of course, keeping us stuck in, this is MM is 1313, which is 26. Keeping us stuck in the closed 8. So picture to the left is an artist's depiction of the original San Valentine of Saturnia, which was later on renamed as the city of Rome. According to Babylonian history, Nimrod was being pursued by a bounty hunt of men who were commissioned by Shem, the son of Noah, to find him and kill him for his many crimes against children. According to the book of Jasher, it was Esau, the twin brother of Jacob, who ultimately killed Nimrod. Nimrod's demise is accurately described in Ezekiel, where he is said to be cut down to the ground just like a tree. Nimrod's other alias is Baal, the god of the sun and the tree. This prophecy is about Satan, which is not Saturn. This is Satan, keeping us stuck in 10, himself, who was once a covering cherub. At the throne in heaven, you see in the picture, I'll show you again in a minute, but it's the 007, the 2 balls on either side with the 1 in the middle is 007, the 1, the 7. So the throne in heaven, after his rebellion towards the Most High, he was cast out of heaven and he masqueraded as the serpent in the Garden of Eden. But he also masqueraded as the king of Taurus. Taurus was an ancient Phoenician city on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean, which is today called Lebanon. Funny, because I had a friend called Shem from Lebanon who committed suicide. I have quite a lot of people who've committed suicide. That was very strange. He was a little red-headed guy, and I met him in my flat in Incredible. I just thought of that. As I was reading it. Nimrod's crimes were many, but the most heinous of his crimes was the sacrificing of infants on the altar to Moloch, aka Satan, which is not Saturn, because Saturn is the eternal Taurus field. It's the urn, it earns, it churns. Satan is not the churn, they block it, they block us. These very same mountains are called the something or other. Okay, so let's finish these pictures. Lupercalia. So other names for Nimrod, you've got all these. So there is Merlin. So the Babylonian lion taking over. Here's the Vashkiri. And you see it's all these names. Look at all these names. It's all the same person. It's not Saturn. Mars, Cupid, Kronos, the fish god, Atlas, the seventh sister. This is where we're going to have Mars on the 3-3. Right, so this is what it is. I've read that. So you see that it's and there is your little Mercury man again that is in front of Buckingham Palace. There's Babylon, little Mercury, Nimrod, and here is the 3 needles. So they're taking over. This is the snake at the Isle of Wight. So the Isle of Wight, now this is what we're going to have on, this is in the Isle of Wight. This is at 3:22, and I can't see the date I've got because I can't see, but normally it's the 30th of the 4th or the May the 4th, and we're going to have the head of the snake. So this is that axis of the snake, and it's going to be right there on Aldebaran. And look who's there. We've got Mercury on Algol, got the Sun and Uranus conjunct, and we've got Saturn and the Moon on Capricorn, which is normally, you know, that the Moon rules Cancer, Saturn rules Capricorn, so that's that 6996. That's pretty incredible. I can't see the dates. So you see it's 50. It's very important that this is 50. The Isle of Wight is 50. So that is, I've got 2 dates here. I've got May the 4th and the 30th. We've got the 30th of April and March the 4th. See, I can't see. That's a bit annoying. I can't see with that Facebook thing there. But I think it's the 30th of March and May the 4th. It's the 30th of April and May the 4th, those 2 dates. Because May is actually March. So May the 4th is actually March 4th, same thing. So this is the Waking the Dragon in Isle of Wight. Waking of the Dragon. No, I don't want that one. Yeah, let me just show you this very important. So this is at Le Louvre. This is Figma Winged Victory. So you see, this is really what's going on. It's decapitation. So this is the 10th Figma. So again, 10. This is when you put your 2 hands together. So 10 fingers to make the Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight. So Cornwall is 500510 G7, and the Isle of Wight is 50. So the 5th Figma in the Table Museum, the Goddess of Victory. The Table Museum is a series of Figma figures based on famous works of art that almost anyone would recognize. The 10th product to join the series is the world famous sculpture of Nike. So the Greek goddess of victory, the winged victory of Samothrace. The figure has been carefully tuned to capture the details of her iconic wings while also adding articulation to them, and the leg area with multiple complex participations has also been articulated. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. They keep you cut up in 14 pieces of Osiris. And look at this, to show you quickly, Psyche. I want to show you I want to show you what's he called, the man who painted the 14-year-old Edgar Degas, who painted the 14-year-old girl with her hands behind her back. And normally I had it here. Oh, here we go. This is it. So Degas. So DD, they're showing us D-Day. So here's Degas, and Degas means disgusting. So these are the ballet girls, and there she is with her hands behind her back. This is the little dancer, 14 years old. So the 14 pieces of Osiris, this is what's happening. They're making La Marianne, they're merging Virgo with Libra. And so we never find our head. Normally Scorpio and Libra merge. They want to kill the snake. They want to kill the sexual energy, the snake, to keep us stuck as this little 14-year-old, you know, this is bringing in, this is pedophilia. So let me come back to that woman. So this is the Cupid kissed psyche, very important. So where is what I was just showing you? What was I just showing you before? Is anyone still there? You all sleeping? Oh, rattlesnake, Victoria,
No,
you're still here. Oh, you're so brave. I'm so sorry, darlings.
No problem. But you're we're looking into Edgar Degas, or?
Here we are. We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 14. You see, they actually, an articulated Figma stand is included, which allows various poses to be taken. Look at this. Oops. So this is they've taken away the heads. Where's your head, Ed? And this is why London Grammar has just brought out a single, Lose Your Heads. And she's dancing like this seventh sister. This is for 33 crucifixion dates, when Mars will be on the seventh sister, and then it will close, that snake will close as, the snake will close as we come to the 22nd of the 3rd, and we begin the 100-day countdown. So this is Jupiter, 24, 42, the black and yellow, the snake. There's, look, it's like the rattlesnake as well with its fangs. This is either our heads, it's like the Isle of Wight, the butterfly, or it's our pelvis. It's the pelvis, it's the sacrum. So I'm taking all Michael Lowe's pictures. So you see the pillar. So there's that fairy. You got to rise up as the fairy. It's our key. The key is in the head. This is the Batman cave. So it's either our head or our sacrum. It's the same thing. There's the key. So you've got Darth Vader and Jupiter. So this is that axis of Cupid and Valentine. You've got to open the gate, you've got to find the fifth wave. And we've got our 7 chakras, but can you connect to the outer 7 chakras? So that 14 becomes the 5, 4 plus 1 is 5, 7 plus 7 is 14. So here's the Isle of Wight. This is an old picture. And this is interesting because we don't see these 2 bits anymore. And there's the snake going across the middle. These don't exist anymore, these 2 bits here. They don't show us that anymore. You see, the Isle of Wight is our head. This is the heart gateway. It's the diamonds. So the 7 outer that energizes the 7 middle. The New Age wants to keep us stuck in this 7. You need to be the master of your musical instrument to make the 14 to get the 5 gateway of the hearts. So this is your pelvis, which is also the butterfly, like our head. That's why the V for victory is taking over our solstice. So now this I found going to 1972. So again, 72, the Triumph Stag. This is about a car. So this article came out on the 7th of February, last leg on the Isle of Wight. So this is about a luxury sports car, which is yellow and black, of course. And it's 88.5K. So the 2 8s, the HH merged to open the 5 gateway. So this is car 9,000. They want to keep us stuck at 9, not to come to 12. And there's this, I found this on the newspaper of Isle of Wight. So this guy going around on the 7th of February. So the 7th of February is 2772, 1972. February is the 7th month and 7 is the last leg. And this is the famous date of the end of the 100 days of the 22nd of the thirds. So, I mean, yeah, look, if you read, you can see, look, there again, 19th, he purchased the Stag, having previously had a 19, there we go, 936, it's the longitude latitude. So Isle of Wight is bang in the middle. It's the heart gateway. Look, 8s, Turner, Morris Turner, the 8s that becomes the 5. And that's why the last time World War I was when the last time that the head of the snake, lunar node, was on where it's going to close. So yellow, black, like that horse again. It's the Hawaii 5-0. And this is like me as the fairy. I'm not trying to talk about me, but this, what you know, it looks like I'm that fairy on the top of the, and then I just happen to have the 5 where I live, and I just happen to have the heart vortex, which is in a direct line of, well, actually, I'm at 43. I'm not on 50 itself. Morocco is over by 50, the more. Actually, when I looked at France to find exactly under the Isle of Wight, it was Brest, it was Brittany, which is on the 50 line. Look at this, 72 long. Now, I can't remember, oh, look, methylitic discoveries in Ukraine, showing us the 7-2 again. And there's the 7-7, that whirlpool, coming back to that. Isle of Wight, that's that little girl, the Degas. Yeah. So it's interesting, of course, they had an exhibition in 2014 to make the 7-7 in Washington, D.C. And there's Cupid and Psyche. So Psyche revived by Cupid's kiss, Amor. So it was the mythological lovers at a moment of great emotion, characteristic of the emerging movement of Romanticism. So Romanticism is the arising of turning Cupid and Valentine into something beautiful and desirable when it was the celebration of sodomy. You know, this was not, this is to open the underworlds through and to stop us getting through the throat. You're going to get through the throat, not the arse. So this is making us stay attached when you're meant to be your own torso fields. This is something to do with Medusa, the raft of Medusa. So this is where they're taking humanity. You'll row your boat, lost at sea in the tempests. And there she is, the French Revolution, the Marianne. And this is the Four Corners, and this is the torso fields. And we've got to get, so that we've got the 4 little Cupids. You can tell me what you think there is. And there she is, the 10th Figma, 10, decapitation. It's like on the front, the goddess of victory. So with and without, this is what will happen if you follow the fairy. Tinkerbell, climate change, Tesla. He's got 3 fairies behind. And it's the same as the Hollywood Golden Globes, GG. And there's that more again. Okay, I've spoken enough. I've finished. Let's just end with that little drawing I did, and then it's over. I feel like I've spoken all night. Got no idea what time it is. I really don't mean to be so messy. I wish.
No, people are loving it in the chat, so you go on.
Okay,
Victoria.
I'm sorry because I feel.
No, don't be sorry.
Like I'm. So let's just finish with this picture, and if you can kind of get what's going on. So the Isle of Wight is the atom. The Isle of Wight. This is, I just spotted this today walking in my woods. It's the same as what we've got at the Isle of Wight. I was walking in my woods today. So my little lake at my woods is the same as remember the Isle of Wight? That's exactly, there's Southampton. And that is the last leg, the L. And it's the same in my village. And of course, they show you 31, 13, Pan. They've got the pigeon, the Ramney as number 15. I mean, and they've got Merlin, the Merle as number 13. I mean, some people know what's going on always. Lucifer. So Lucifer, the Isle of Wight is either Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Lucifer, the fairy, or you activate your heart gateway and you become the Taurus field. So either this little fairy is the queen of the 4 corners, and then you stay at 10, because look, we've got Mars 4th at the bottom, and this is your 007, the 2 sides of the ball, and the 1, the 16 is 7 or 8, 8. You see, if you play around, you start to get it. You've got, so the sun and the moon merge, it's the Pac-Man, the opening and the shutting. And it's an evolved person creates this opening and this shutting constantly within you. But people who never find the wisdom, they're going to be crucified like animals in flesh. This is the last exit. This is the last exit. This is enormous what we're playing for now, humanity. It's enormous what we're playing for. So there's your atom. So the Isle of Wight is playing between France and England. It's playing the actual neutron, proton, electron, the actual sulfur, salt, mercury. This is it. This is solid, liquid, gas. This is, and there's the snake. So if you can't set off, then the Isle of Wight will become the dragon, and it's Lucifer. So, that's why, yeah. So I'm going to leave it over to you, gang. That's it. I'm sorry I was so long. Thank you for listening. I'll stop sharing. You can stop my sharing, darling.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you for all your wisdom, darling. Everyone's been enjoying it, so.
Okay, good. Because
thank you very much.
I hope you get it. I'm sure you can explain to me what I was saying now, because I'm so abstract that I need you to explain what I was saying.
I've been in the chat most of the time, so I think Lars.
What you just told, Victoria, is this ongoing story with the mutable cross. It's shown in the symbolic, in the statues. It's shown how they use the language, how they use the numbers. So it's everywhere when we learn to look at it. That's just how it works. So to follow one's higher self, to look through the mirror, through the whales. That's how to do it. Don't get attached to it. Turn your back.
Show us your screen, Lars, so that you can give us an image whilst. Show us your screen. Show us
What do
show us Stellarium.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah. We on this walk together, and they're talking all this crap about together, and we know what it means. It means the female energy of everything, and they have decapitated the masculine already. So there ain't no fixed men to stand up for you anymore. It's not much anyhow, but we ain't many. So we on this walk, and they want to crucify us here in Pisces. So we can't enter into here. Pascal once sent me this beautiful picture from Kemet Howe, and in my trade, not my trade, my education as a electrical engineer and teacher in it as well. I know all about these formulas, who's in here, these equations, and that's exactly the same which going on in the body. And I will make a post on my website when it's up running about exactly as Pascal told us about, to get straight in line with our body, not too acid and not too what is called alkalic. Yeah, it must be in balance. And if you look into this, it's about resistance and voltage and current and power. So to gain the real power, one must get the current flowing and the voltage one can gain. And the resistance is in our matter, is the earth where the current must flow. But I will make a post on it and a drawing about how this works, because all these natural laws, which these is, are the same we got in the body. There's no difference about it. They work on every level on Mother Earth, these equations. So I will, as I said, make a post about it. So back to Stellarium. You just mentioned, Victoria, it's about humanity. It's about saving mankind. This ain't no joke. So they will, I think they will stop talking about all these COVID mutations and start talking about the vaccines instead. So they are leveling up on the agenda, I think, without knowing it, but seems like it's coming. And they're pushing on for this digital current. So, and they ruin everything about the economy with their mom and pops shops and whatever. What do you, Pascal? Do you have something to say about it? If he's here.
I'm listening, but I was writing something at the same time in responses to what is being shared.
Okay.
But I think I will leave the responses in the commentary field on YouTube.
Okay.
Because I can see now I've been writing one page, so it's gonna be too much.
It's cool. That's okay. So I don't think I have more to say. What about you, Victoria?
No, I've certainly said enough.
I've still got a few questions for you, Victoria.
Yep.
Hold on. Fiona Kearns is asking, is there a good reference book for learning symbols? Many symbols are different depending on which manual you look at.
Yeah, you answer, Lars.
I actually don't know, because when you strip the scriptures and what we are looking at in our everyday life, we must come back to the original alchemical science to go learn it. And it's the 4 elements. It's the outer chakra, the inner chakra. It's all connected. So I watched Lavette's video for 4 years, I reckon, and one called Bill Donahue spent 6 years learning this, and it's hard to do, but I'm trying to make it into some lectures later on my website. So it's an inside job as well. Lavette and Victoria, my drawings.
I've learned all the last bits from Lavette.
Yeah, same.
All my story has come together from Lavette. I would never have been able to put the story together without Lavette. Lavette has really been, and every time I watch a video, I learn something else. You never stop learning from Lavette.
No, and one must start from the bottom and take the first one, as you said, from kindergarten to university level. There's no shortcuts because one can't comprehend it if one don't start at the beginning. So it's hard work.
Okay, thank you. Awake 444 Awake Soul is asking, are we going to get affected here on Earth? I don't really know what reference that question is to, but
affected. Sure, we are going to be affected. What we know and what we don't know is where are we going and where are we not going. Can you see this picture now with the umbrellas?
yes.
Okay, that's one of my pictures I shared on Facebook. But we will certainly be affected as we move in the Milky Way, the gray pattern here, and we move up and down, and the umbrella will close, and we'll get the 5th consciousness by this Pascal in the mutable ages, and the sine wave will bring us into heaven on earth. So
it's like the old telephone. I was just thinking, remember the old telephones that we used to turn to dial the numbers?
Sure do.
We used to dial around and then it would go back again and it would go whoop, whoop, whoop. It's like opening a safe. That's why when you open a safe, they go left, right, left, right. You've got to find that little balance within yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I am looking into these mathematical equations to make a calculator for each person because it relates to each other. It's all connected. So stay balanced, don't buy into it. That's the easy way to do it. Don't buy into 369, but aim for the 12. Aim for the head.
Okay. Beep Beep is asking, so what exactly do you mean with getting through the throat?
That must be for Victoria.
So getting through the throat is the, let me go back to my picture. Let me share, this will stop other screening. Do you want to continue? Yes. Screen. So share. Okay, so if you see this picture here, so this is our throat. We want to get to our head, which is above. So the heart, when you've got your heart spinning, you can get through, it's through the throat, you've got to find your voice. So it's very important to speak up in some way. So to do some kind of creative work, it can be a silent voice, it can be something creative, it can be a voice just within yourself. It's finding your own voice, finding your own torso field, so you're not attaching to other people. You're not, that's what Cupid and Valentine is all about, keeping you attached to other people. You've got to find your individual, you've got to be an individual, no longer part of the herd. Because if you're part of the herd, you can't find your 5th wave head. You can't be responsible for your actions. You're not the conductor of your own orchestra. You're not creating your own reality. So when I talk about the throat chakra, that's why they've got the voice all over the television when everyone's watching a program called The Voice. It's about finding your voice. It's about finding your torso field. It's about being very proud of your four corners and knowing what your song is. What song are you singing? What is your reason? Are you just following everybody else? What is your participation? And it doesn't have to be something, you know, outly visual. It can be something internally beautiful. But there has to be an individual path. You have to have found your individual reason of being.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Susan C. Question for Lars. Please explain why the white stripe for the moon is needed on the rainbow flag. Sorry, I missed it the last time. Is there a significance to where it's placed on the flag? Thank you.
Sure, it's placed in the solar plexus in the middle. We got the Mars in the bottom and the root chakra, and we got Jupiter, and then we got the belly, the solar plexus with the masculine and feminine energy. That's why it's there. And then we got the Venus and Mercury and Saturn. So
okay,
that's only why.
Fiona Kearns. Heart symbol is vitriol in some texts? Question mark. I don't really know what that means.
Me neither. Do you, Victoria?
Can you pronounce that again?
Vitriol. Vitriol.
Vitriol.
Vitriol.
Vitriol. I do know that I have.
I heard the name, but I heard the word. I don't know.
Vitriol. V-I-T.
Oh, it's the definition is bitter criticism or malice, and
vitriol from the sea. I'm just looking it up. Bitter criticism on her mother's sudden gush of fury and vitriol. Interesting, and that's why people get reflux acids. That's really interesting. Vitriol. So what was the question exactly?
It was heart symbol is for vitriol in some texts.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't surprise me, because that would mean that they're keeping people at the bottom 69, Kali, hell has no fury, like that of a scorned woman, which is the heart-shaped arse. So yeah, I would. It could be, you know, if you're still in Cupid and Valentine, if you're still in the dart into the flesh, instead of rising the sexual energy. Whose telephone is ringing? Oh,
not mine.
That's me then? So sorry, I don't. Oh. Up at all, decline. Okay. So sorry about that. Yeah, I think that must be vitriol Wikipedia. That is, it says here, look, iron or copper. We must look this up. This is something interesting. Is general chemical name encompassing a class of chemical compounds comprising sulfates, so originally iron or copper. So iron would be lower, Mars, and Venus is copper above. So if you're still in the destructive 69, the mother that punishes and rewards, so she is, you know, Cancer, smothering mother, she punishes and rewards, and the Capricorn higher mother, Venus, who sets by example, who does, she doesn't need to punish or reward her children. So you go from the lower iron to the higher copper.
Oh,
and look, it's green, such as green vitriol.
And
those
blue.
mirror, and it says blue.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So this is what Pascal was saying.
Yeah, and look on the picture, it's violet.
Yeah.
In old alchemical scriptures, vitriol would be related to the heart, and also to what is generally called the Philosopher's Stone, which is said to be of a standard whereby it can refine everything impure which tries to touch it.
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting.
So it's related to, of course, the heart and the enormous effect of a vibrating, loving heart is.
Okay.
Mhm.
Super, wonderful.
So cool to learn.
So let me do another question. Kathy Kansu, how do we get through? Is it really during these 144 degrees? What does it really mean to make it through? And is it when we die we don't have to come back again, or is it different?
It's a state of consciousness. It's the invisible wall, and we will be pushed to levels of fear that are so high as we go through this 100 doors. So vaccines, control, it's really the crunching of the claws of that crab, the most detrimental energy of Venus and Cancer. We're going to have Venus and Mars in Cancer at this end date. So it's just to see how you can stay out of fear within this period. And we are the kind of leaders, those of us getting through the gap now without fear, then we create the 100th monkey, we create a ripple effect so that more and more souls can come through. So that's why we have to be so strong and ready for this passage, because if we all make it through, then more and more and more, and then there'll be the passages, and then it's then the new earth is going to begin to be created, and as we leave this realm, we will be choosing where we want to go, because there's no time or space. So we can return to the period of the Garden of Eden when we had Scorpio and Libra together. We can go into the new world kingdom in the future at this end of this wheel experience in Aquarius, Capricorn. We can decide to go back to source because we've had enough of having a physical experience. We get to choose wherever we want to go. We become the kings and the queens on the chess set. We're no longer a pawn into porn. We can choose where we go. So this 100 days is very important, but it's not the end all. It's not the end. You can continually, but this is the ultimate bullseye fear that is going to be pushed upon us. And if we get through
ultimate
this,
challenge will be pushed.
yeah, it will be the ultimate challenge, which will then open the gateway to lots and lots of other souls if we are strong and balanced through this gap.
And this is referring to all the fear porn right now on COVID and vaccinations, right?
Yeah, that's the ultimate. This is the highest of the push. And if we make it through this, it will just keep getting easier and easier and easier. Although, we'll always have fallbacks. We'll always have moments where we're trying to balance.
I took the screen, Victoria, just to show with the sun, the life energy, the source running inside of us will go into Aquarius as an example. It will be challenged and will be in fall. So when someone knows it will be in fall, this life source energy, they will push exactly at the 16th more fear porn onto us. So we really got to stay straight. And the chakras will keep on moving on the celestial path. Wheels within wheels.
Exactly. Thank you. You see, Fiona Kearns, do folk just disappear to another realm? Well, as I explained, from my old life, struggling with addiction and stuff, when I made the choice to become more aware and work on myself and face my inner demons, I literally changed my frequency and removed all the old people from my life, for example. And when I ran into them years later, my frequency was to a state that they didn't recognize. So even I walked by them on the street, they looked at me, but it was like they didn't even recognize me or see me. So
Sounds
it's
familiar.
yeah, exactly. It's
Sure.
not really that we're going physical to another place, but it's more like a state of being.
Yeah. Just like going to the supermarket without a mask. I'm just doing my business, my shopping, and no
Exactly.
one says anything. I'm just doing my stuff, and they look at me, but I'm just going in my own reality and bubble.
Yeah, exactly, Lars. Yep. I experienced that the same. I haven't wore a mask since the beginning of this, and I haven't seen another one without a mask, but they don't seem to say anything. Unless till a few days ago, I had a run into a manager who literally kicked me out of the store. But yeah, well, okay, I just go without emotion and goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll get my
Don't
groceries in another place.
don't get attached to it. Don't get involved with it. Just okay, that's cool. I'm off.
Yep.
I wasn't so good in my shop. I got on all fours and oinked like a pig.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I have to do my madam spectacle, but I mean, that's not what you want to do. You're not meant to behave. Normally, I've been pretty cool. It's the first time I've lost my cool. I didn't get angry. I just got on all fours and oinked like a pig.
Sure.
Yeah, it's also
But it's not
understandable.
what to do. It's not what to do, no.
No. It's also a bit of a mirror to what I've always experienced in life, that we're like an outsider, right? So
Sure.
it's just being brought more to the surface and more clear. So then the next question of Fiona comes, but we will still be on Earth. Yeah, of course we will.
Yeah, of course we will.
And Angela Moulton, so is the Eiffel Tower bad? I think she means the symbolism and
It's represents, if you open, you've got a choice. If you are become the lamp, you know, the lamp as in the Bible, the lamp, the thalamus, it's got the light, it's the lighthouse. It's not bad, but they give us a choice, and we've got the Paris Olympics in 2024, which is their way of wanting to keep the empire and the solstice, and it would also be us crucified, I think, upside down, because it's below the Isle of Wight. I think Scotland is meant to be the lamp. So I think I'm still working out about this, between Morocco to the left, to Paris on the right, Scotland, England in the middle. Normally the British Isles, Scotland at the top becomes the top. So it's not, nothing's bad, it's all just symbolic. But the Eiffel Tower represents being on all four legs, like an animal. It's got four legs, and you can choose to stand up and open your third eye. It's got a long neck. You've got to get a long way through the long neck of the Eiffel Tower, and it's an iron. It's iron. It's not, it represents Mars.
okay. Hold on. Let me see. Next question from Beep Beep. Invisible wall. Get through the mirror. Could you explain?
The wall, the
Yeah,
mirror.
yeah, the invisible
Yeah,
wall.
it's a state of consciousness, and we're constantly. It's like you're going through waters, and there's a moment where you have no more fear. For example, me living all by myself. I've had moments in my life where I can become drowned in fear, and all of a sudden you find a state of inner balance. Fear doesn't overcome me anymore. I've had many swings in my life where you have moments where you can get very afraid or very sad. I no longer get very sad. I no longer get very afraid. You are the complete master of your temperaments. You can temper. You decide every emotion that you live. I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't cry sometimes or enjoy a moment of emotions and feelings, but you are a master. You don't, you know, a feeling of anger or jealousy or those kind of energies, I don't think I don't think I've ever felt a feeling of jealousy, but anger I haven't had for years and years and years, but fear has gone. So I think that once you become the master of your emotions, you've got through the mirror.
Exactly. What I noticed in mastering the emotions is that the swing is getting um, more smaller, so to speak. So the time till recovering and finding your center and balance is much quicker now. Where I
Yeah,
used to could
exactly.
be like
Yeah,
weeks into the same emotion, and it the time just got shorter and shorter. Now it's within the same day, or sometimes even within minutes, that I can rebalance myself.
exactly.
Well done, Di. Well, the only thing that can really unbalance you, I think, is love. When you fall in love or that kind of thing. That's why we've got to be really careful of people who come to unbalance you will always come through flattery. They always approach through flattery, or they'll find some way to weaken you, and so that you become attached without realizing you're becoming attached. And I think that's why Cupid and Valentine is really, has always been Captain Hook's favorite methods. That's why on YouTube, when you put YouTube at the moment, they've got these poor babies with cancer, these children. It's emotional. They need to keep us emotionally addicted. And it's getting harder and harder. If you notice the younger generations, they're not as sensitive as our generations. They don't get washed away to sea as much as our generations did. And I'm not saying it's a better thing. People watching, I don't know how anybody can watch horror films, but that's also not good when people watch horror movies and they don't budge, they don't flinch, or something sad and they don't even cry. That's another extreme.
Sure.
Okay.
It's finding the balance. It's the balance and being aware
Mind
of
over
both
matter.
sides. But being aware of both sides. People who aren't, they're trying to create a neutral human being that is not at all affected, and so they can be completely infiltrated. You want to stay a sensitive, empathetic human being who's seen both sides and can stay in the middle.
Sure. It's the Louis the Swing King. It's the wisdom of the pendulum, swinging from feelings to emotions over mind, passing mind over matter.
Yeah.
So
Being able to feel
yep.
both, know the both extremes and stay in the middle and not let our society lose, because crucifying us on the fixed cross is crucifying people in that neutral state, so they have no more emotions left. So it's keeping the emotions, but being the master of them.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Emotions are not bad per se. So.
Yeah, that keep hold. No one can take our emotions and feelings away from us, but be the master of them. Whereas the young generation, they're going to be so abused from masks and horror that the only people that survive, the poor children that don't commit suicide. I mean, if I was a 13-year-old child living in masks, and I don't know how I would cope. I don't know how. There must be lots of poor young people committing suicide because they can't cope.
Yeah. The suicide rates are skyrocketing.
It's so sad.
It's so sad.
But they will meet us on the other side. These beautiful souls who can't cope, and the robots will stay.
Yes. Yeah, it's like sort of culling.
Yeah.
It's like a culling process, and it may go on for another 720 years until the Earth is fully, all three Earths merge as one. But I think as this culling, this Earth will go more and more towards destruction. We're choosing where we want to go. Souls are choosing.
Right, staying in the underworld or back to heaven, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
And little by little, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired now.
Yeah.
I got 3 questions, then we're done. Scott Jeffrey, thank you so much. You mentioned if you can't set off the dragon will come. Can you please explain what you mean by set off?
Yeah, well, the dragon is when you become, again, the master of your Kundalini. So you've ignited your own dragon, you've ignited your own sexual energy, but you're not looking to, you don't go to other people for their sexual energy. You don't look, you've got your own snake within you, which is lit, but you're not looking to vampire off other people. You carry your own snake. You don't need, you don't have greed. You know, the snake, if you're still thinking, I remember when I was 16, 17, 18, and I was learning about food, you know, that thing when people think about food and they think about their weight, or they think about, I don't know what people think about. People think about sex, or I don't know. They haven't mastered their snake again. It's desire, it's the lower chakras. So if you're imbalanced, your desires and your ego are still trying to feed the flesh body in some way. So that snake is not mastered.
Okay, thank you. I thought there were 3 questions, but there were only 2, so this is the last one. And Rockwell is asking, of course I will re-listen, but the horse head and skeleton, could it be summed up or more said?
Yeah. So the horse head was just an article that came out on the same day as the 4-wheel drive was being set off. So the 11th of the 2nd, we get a horse head in Wales in Anglesey. So the last leg, the last hoof, the last V, to make the 88 4-wheel drive, which Lars showed the 2. And then if you go back and watch, you'll see that you'll see the Welsh skeleton. I can't remember what it's called without going on to it's called the marry something. So it's basically, you know, that a ritual of the horse's head and the skeleton, and it represents the horse in a wedding, in a marriage. So that's the Corona Victor Virgo Pisces axis, that you didn't create alchemical, the horse is like a skeleton, so you didn't find that balance. Capricorn is the skeleton, it's the skeleton. So if you can't get past that balance of expansion Jupiter to Capricorn skeleton, you're just going to be like in Charles Dickens, Miss Havisham, who sits in the castle in her dress, in her wedding dress, because she never got married. That's what Virgo is about. She didn't make the alchemical journey. That's why they show us what's she called, Amy Winehouse, dying of drugs and skinny, because she didn't make the axis Pisces. You can't get through the monsters of the id if you're still stuck in belief programs and falling in love, and you will become like that horse. You lose your head. You're going to lose your head. So it has 2 meanings. It's setting off the 4-wheel drive of Romulus and Remus, Jupiter merging, trying to take over Capricorn. But that's death, because Jupiter's not meant to merge with Capricorn. Aquarius is meant to merge with Capricorn. So it's either the black and the yellow is the bee. It's the Joker. I'll do another video, Anne, and go over it, or I'll make a post or something. But it's basically, we're meant to be merging black and red. We're meant to be Jack and Jill that gets up the hill with DNA strands, Air, Mercury, Gemini, and Mercury, Earth, Virgo that get up the hill through the throat chakra, and you become Aquarius father and Capricorn mother, Earth. But that ritual of the horse's head was when Venus was conjunct Jupiter on Capricorn, which is death. It's the bee, it's the black and yellow at the top. It's a trick, it's a trick.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And
any suggestions for herbs, crystals to help indirectly to open heart chakra and detox? That's the last question from Sacred Son of Ukraine.
That's for Pascal.
Yeah, I think that's one for Pascal.
if he's around.
Pascal, are you still here?
He's unmuted, so. No, he's not here, I think. So, but I don't know. Herbs.
No, I don't really.
There's a lot of it, and I'm not into that. I'm sorry.
No.
That's all.
I've spoken to I would have to get stuff out and look stuff up and to open herbs, and I just think everything that Pascal was saying at the beginning, he explained that really well. He said very well, if you listen again to everything Pascal said, he basically told you.
Okay.
Exactly.
So,
Okay.
Rising Son of Ukraine, please listen back to what Pascal discussed. All is within there. Okay. So I think we should wrap things up.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired now.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, well, thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Yeah, to everybody.
And thank you, everybody. And again, Jacob, have you left your PayPal?
No, I forgot, but I can put it into the...
Will you add it for anybody who is able and who wants to donate to you? That would be lovely.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description of the YouTube live video.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and thanks everybody for joining us. I love you all very much, and bye for now. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and give it a shot.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Lars, for coming, feeling so ill.
Thank you.
Bye, darlings.
Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.